Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High Yah, the Son Yahushua. Coming back to another Wednesday class. We know that Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So we're going to kind of go into a little bit about Thanksgiving and us in the truth. And us being in the truth, and why we shouldn't celebrate that thing, and why sometimes, guess what, our people and our family kind of suck us into this and try to make us celebrate them secretly. But we're gonna kind of dive into that, probably go a little bit of history too. So first precept, quick little street precept, but goes right along with the line. Get there.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
What the Bible say again?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The Bible told us to envy thou not the oppressor. Thanksgiving was set up for the killing of the Native American Indians, which are our brothers. So if they're killing our brothers, they're killing us. That's go the nation of Israel. So when you touch one of our brothers, you done touch the whole family, man. Millions of our people done got killed because of what they was trying to take over in this land and the fruits that they wanted out of this land. Read it over again.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So when you go into celebrating Thanksgiving, you basically going into celebrating the slaughter of your brother. That's the same as going hand in hand when you it was somebody wearing a cross on their neck. It's idolatry. It go hand in hand. When you look at the cross, guess what? Why would you wear a cross and died on the cross? Why would you sit up here and wear that cross? That's going into idolatry. That's the same thing what we doing when we celebrate these holidays is going into idolatry. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1.
And guess what? Sometimes some of our people do it out of ignorance. But guess what? This word done been out there for a long time now.
Right.
And people understand the real history behind Thanksgiving. And they still celebrate that. So the Most High knows that we are a stiff-necked and hard-headed rebellious people. I just want to be around my family. Well, you can be around your family every day of the year. Why would you pick that day that Esau commands you to do it and do it? Let's subconsciously let our people know we know who the God of this world is, man. So we got to shake that thing.
Come on it. Read it up.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
It said, hear ye the word which the Lord speak unto you, O house of Israel. Read up.
Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
The Bible commands us not to learn the ways of the heathen. So taking on to their customs, taking on to their religions, taking on to their holidays, those are ways of the heathens, man. It told us to learn not those ways. Read up.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven either. Because guess what, man? A lot of people go into all kind of little things, man. Astrology and all kind of things. Even guess what? They might even put some firecrackers up in there. Ooh, look at the pretty thing. Hey man, we won't see that either. See none of that. We ain't dismayed at none of that thing, man. Read up.
For the heathen are dismayed.
Because the heathens are dismayed at those things, man. They are definitely dismayed at that, man. First little pass we come and read. We got this out of this actually aired on PBS. Read the highlighted part. Kind of go into a little history on this Thanksgiving a little bit.
It is called No Thanks. Native Americans mark Thanksgiving with sadness.
Because guess what? In this day of time, it is still a remnant of the Native American Indians, which are our brothers. They mark the day of Thanksgiving. It's sadness, man. They still mark the day of sadness because they remember the days of old, man. They consider the years of many generations of what happened to our people, man. Read up.
While the United States will celebrate Thanksgiving this Thursday, some Americans are marking the day with sadness.
So guess what? And we are marking the day with sadness too. because we know there was slaughter of millions of our brothers and sisters, man, that died because of this thing, man. Read up.
Organizers describe the event as a time to remember the genocide of millions of Native people.
It's a genocide of millions of Native American Indians. It was genocide of our people, man. See, a lot of times, guess what? The East Side will air this thing out on TV, and a lot of our people flick the channel right by it, and they'll go straight up and watch the basketball game or the football game, but they'll air some of this thing same time that football, basketball game going on, or the same time Atlanta Housewives going on. They be airing them specials on TVs, and people a lot of times miss those specials, and they talk directly about us and put it right in your face, and we'll miss this thing, man. Read up.
The theft of native lands and the relentless assault on native culture.
It said the theft of the native land. This is over here in America. Y'all know the prophecies that's going in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, how they came and they sailed over here. Do y'all know their prophecy? Y'all pretty much well endowed with their prophecy? How the 10 tribes how that split? Or do we need to get it? Matter of fact, we'll touch it. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 right quick. We'll touch on that. 2nd Ezra chapter 13. We're gonna start at verse 40. Read it out. You get there.
2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king.
Now, y'all know about, okay, now this Bible is finna explain to you how the Native American Indians got over here to America. See, we were coming upon a Roman persecution. So guess what? They came and they had a council together. They're like, hey man, we don't want to go back to this.
Up on the Assyrian.
The Assyrian captivity. So they were like, man, we don't want to go into this bondage. So they got together. They had a council, and they said, well, we gonna come over here, and they made agreement with the Most High. Hey man, let us get away with it. We'll go in and keep your law, statutes, and commandments, which they didn't when they made it over. But it's finna go in to explain it. Come on it up. Read up.
In the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land.
Now it said came they into another land. Read up.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
That's the same counsel I just mentioned. They took this counsel among themselves. Read.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
And that's over here in the Americas. They came all the way over here into America where never mankind dwelt. Now they done came over here and got birds and stuff, but nobody came over to live over here. Because King Solomon also talked about, what's it, the peacock that he talked about? He had went and gotten different birds, but they never came to dwell over here. Well, go ahead,
that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Yeah, they telling the Lord, man, let us get away from it, man. We're going to keep these commandments over there.
That's why you see some of the Indians with the traditions that they was passed down, wearing their fringes, dwelling in teepees. Guess what? Even some of the archaeological finds that they done had over was what? Written in Hebrew. So a lot of this evidence is out there. We just have to do the research, man. We have to. Go ahead up.
Read up.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Now he held still the floods from them when they came across Africa in the what you call that straight up.
We paint a picture.
Yeah,
like we say, you in the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River run from the Middle East down through Saudi Arabia around the coast of entering into the like we say, the Persian Gulf into the Atlantic Sea.
And another thing that's relevant, when it comes out into the sea, it's on the east side of Africa. And on the east side of Africa, if you look that up, the flow of the ocean comes in and hit Africa, and it goes down and around. So that made it a lot easier also for the boats that they were in to coast the same water lines that the whales and the turtles and everything else use in the ocean. So when you look that up, you'll see that when it comes out, it goes right into the ocean current that goes around Africa and takes you right over to this land here, on the southern part of this land.
Con on it. Y'all get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read up.
45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Now it took him a year and a half to sail all the way over. Like I said, taking that stream. Like if you look at the map, they on the east side of Africa. They coming all the way down around the other side of Africa, all the way over here to North America, mainly like the Central Americas or the South America.
Keep in mind when y'all reading this, because we read scriptures like they just happen. But this take time, this take planning. Remember, this was millions of people coming to this side of the earth. So we read it like that just happened in one day, you know. But this is a lot of time and preparation that goes into that. Then when they came over here, they dropping off tribes on Puerto Rico, South America, Jamaica, all the way up to Canada. You know, even when we read in the book, The Lost Tribes and the Promised Land, that gives that history as well. Go ahead, Art.
Yeah. Read up.
And the same, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arcery.
Now the same reason, because that was the original name over here was called Arcery. But y'all know what happened after they conquered this land? Psalm 49 and 11, right quick. That's what happened after they conquered this land.
And hold up before you get that. Let's show them that this thing is in the Bible. Let's get Genesis 49 and verse 12 real quick. You got that? Genesis 49 and 12. Let's paint this picture through the scriptures like I was doing. Yeah, so I got all the
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine. I mean, 49 and 19. It's like Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
So Gad is the North American Indian. And say a troop shall overcome him. This is what we're going into right now. When those pilgrims came, those are the troops that came to overcome them. And this is future prophecy.
Brother Abaya, who was the leader of the troops that overcame Gad?
That was the
what was the general
United
name?
States Army.
Yeah, but what was the general name?
General Custer.
General Custer.
And then it's future prophecy at the end of that. They say he shall overcome at the last.
Exactly.
So that's future prophecy right there. Both of them was prophecy, but the first part already occurred. And that's what we're going into. And then the second part is going to be what's going to happen in the future.
That's right.
Let's go to Isaiah 65 and 11. And then I'm going to throw it back to the eye. It's showing you that these things that occurred is in the Bible. And so it lines up with the history of our people. So we know that the North American Indian is Gad, and we know that they was overcame by a troop. Let's see what else they did. Let's see why they was overcame by the troop. The book is Isaiah 65 and 11.
Isaiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord.
What did they do?
But ye are they that forsake the Lord.
Like I brought up, they were supposed to come over here to keep the law and the commandments like they didn't do in our own land. But they continued to forsake the Lord, worshiping totem poles and the wind and the air and the earth and things of that nature. Freedom, rain dancing.
That forget my holy mountain. That prepare a table for the truth.
What did they do?
That prepare a table for the truth.
What did they do?
That prepare a table for the truth.
They prepared a table for the truth when they first came. They should have kicked them out. They tried, but that's that generous nature that we got as Israelites. Want to be friendly to everybody. And it came back to bite them in their butt. But the reason why is because they forsake the Most High God. Read on up.
That forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for the truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword.
What the Lord did to them?
Therefore will I number you to the sword.
And what else?
And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter.
Ain't that what happened to them? Complete genocide of the Native Americans. Read on.
Because when I called, ye did not answer.
Because when he called, he had already gave them another chance. Come over here and keep the law. Still was calling to them, and they did not answer. Read on.
When I spake, ye did not hear.
They wasn't listening to the Most High God. They want to listen to the totem pole. Read on.
but did evil before mine eyes.
What did they do?
Did evil before mine eyes. And did choose that wherein I delighted not.
They chose to do what the Most High delighted not in. And a lot of them still do that thing. Y'all hear that?
Man, that was a great precept, man. It's painting a picture. That's what we tell people, man, to build up. You got to be looking at this thing in a spiritual sense. A lot of times people want to look at it as sometimes as it is written sometimes, but a lot of times it's not written like that. It can be written in, like you say, the Bible is a mystery book. You got to learn to put the pieces together. You do that only by keeping the commandments, man. Go ahead,
Come on, Nick. Give me the Psalms 49:11. Then we'll go back over there to that sheet so we can get that out right quick. Psalms 49:11.
The book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Y'all know how Esau roll. They think that, man, guess what? Nobody can defeat America, but America will get defeated, man.
They thought nobody could defeat Rome and nobody could defeat Greece. And they happened.
And it happened. Read on up.
And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
So when they came over every land that they conquered, they stamped their name on it. Just like when they put us in slave, guess what? They stamped our name on us with our last names. Guess what? We ownership. We sold. And guess what? We still up on the ownership of the other nations, man. They still got us enslaved. They still own our black books.
And that's what our people do not understand. You running around with another man's name on you and you think you free. We up under captivity, man. They got us. We got to come back to the Lord. Just like the Native Americans forsake the Lord, we forsake the Lord.
In fact, jump over Psalm 55:20 right quick, then we'll go back.
Because it just went on all up.
Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20.
Here go another one that line up with what happened to the Native Americans, to the T, to the history.
Psalms 55:20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
That's all they ever did. Man, they broke every covenant, man, that they ever did with the Native Americans. Hey, man, with us. Hey, man, we're gonna get y'all 40 acres and a mule. I wonder have y'all ever seen it.
This how cold they were. They went and made covenants with all the Native American tribes. So they make a covenant with this tribe and then make a covenant with this side. Or America will make a covenant and then the French will make a covenant with the others. And they all, the British, the French, the Spanish, the Americans, all of them made covenants with the Native Americans, all of them Edomites, and all of them broke every covenant that they made with them. We shouldn't have been dealing with them folks, because like the scriptures say, he put forth his hands against such as to be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. That's what he do. How you doing, brother? We're friends. We're just coming to visit. But what did he say? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
That's it. That's it.
Because that's what he was sent for.
Straight war. Because that's one of their blessings. They live by the sword, man. That was one of their blessings, man, from the start, man. Go ahead, read that sheet again.
Let me throw this out here. Like I said, that's one of their blessings. Our people cannot, if you can compute that the Esau is the vessels of destruction, then you'll get this. As long as you keep saying, oh, all white people ain't bad, you're never going to get this. They was made to do this.
Yeah. That's right. Read it out.
Native American groups have been holding the National Day of Mourning since 1970. But they say their message is especially urgent this year. That is because the town of Plymouth is getting ready to hold a number of events marking the settlers' arrival.
So y'all know why y'all be at school and what they main thing. Ooh, we gonna Plymouth Rock. They always talk about Plymouth Rock, man. But they don't tell you the history of what happened in this situation with Plymouth Rock, man. They always talk about how glorious and how wonderful, how these Indians just gave up all these vegetables and they just, hey man, you can have all of this and you can take our land too. I'm like, say, for some bees. That didn't make no sense, man.
Yeah.
Because don't you know they ran this land? Did y'all know, man, they ran this land before the Esau came over here, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, in 1492 when they came, they had gave the Indians as gifts. Y'all heard about the blankets with smallpox in them.
We're gonna touch that next.
And the thing about that is, for a while, when they came to Jamestown, when they settled in Jamestown in 1607, when they got to Jamestown and the land was all nice and neat, they was wondering why. But when they got there, the whole village was dead from the plague that they had given them. That's how they was able to just come off the ship and go right to Jamestown without no problem. The whole village, they had already gave them blankets, let it kill their whole village. Then they came over here later into those parts.
And then the thing is, they tell you about the Plymouth in 1620, but they came over here hundreds of years before that. They came over here what in
1492.
1492. So they came over there. This talking about 100 years later. But they give you the history starting in 1620. You see that? They don't tell you what happened in between that space. What was they doing?
Evil.
They was slaughtering, they was raping, and they was killing, man, our people over here, man. They don't tell you about that. They don't want to talk. Only part they want to talk. Columbus sailed the ocean blue. That's the only thing they want to talk about on that part. But everything else, they go straight to what?
Evil.
Read it.
Skip everything. Let it eat.
Read that out.
The Pilgrims first landed in a Native American's land, what is now Massachusetts, near 400 years ago. As the anniversary nears, ancestors of the Native people who met the Pilgrims want to make sure the world hears the whole story. The Wampanoag tribe helped the European settlers survive. Its members say the settlers brought diseases, racism, and oppression.
We just read Psalms 55:20. He held forth his hand to be at peace with them. And what happened when guess what? And when they did that, they found out they had got smallpox. They started putting all kind of plagues on them, man. And we're gonna touch that too. We're gonna touch the information on it too.
And another thing, they always stated that they came over here for religious freedom. It's not so.
Yeah.
They had religious freedom in Holland, which was in their own land at that time, and they could have just went to Holland and got religious freedom. They literally came over here for money. They was coming over here looking. So it wasn't they was coming over here to find. They was on the hunt, and which is what they do, like what Esau is, a keen hunter. He was on the hunt, and it's about money, just like they do everywhere else. Ain't nothing changed. The same MO from what they were doing in this Bible, same MO they do it now.
That's right. They doing the same old thing, man. A leper can't change his dot, man. Spots. Read out.
How have the events affected ideas about Thanksgiving? Francis Bremer is an expert on the Pilgrims and professor emeritus of history at Millersville University in Pennsylvania. He thinks the nation is listening better to what the Native groups are saying. He calls their message a side of the story that's too often been ignored.
So guess what? They've too often been ignored about the side of the original reason about what happened during Thanksgiving. They don't want to tell you the real story about Thanksgiving. Everything about Thanksgiving is about, let's sit around the table and tell me what you're thankful for. Man, we ain't thankful for a damn thing here in America, man. We ain't thankful for none of that, man.
Right.
Read up.
Paula Peters is a Wampanoag writer and activist. Peters sees progress in how Americans think about their history. They are starting to look past the false Thanksgiving story about pilgrims and natives living peacefully together, she says.
See, because guess what? Now in these last days, we don't woke up, man. We looking, bless you. We looking past it, man. We ain't no longer taking those whitewashed stories that they give us. We looking things up, man. The Most High gave us a spirit. Guess what? In these last days, we raising up now. We can see through that mess that they trying to do. We can clearly see, because a lot of times they think that they can just come up here and force feed you something. And every store you go to, every place you go, what's the main thing you hear all week? Happy Thanksgiving. Everywhere you go, everybody's saying it. You cut on the TV, it's Thanksgiving. Because guess what? They done took the yoke up off our neck, man. until they have destroyed us. So now then we don't need that yoke no more. Because guess what? Now we're gonna go eat pig. Now we're gonna go celebrate their holidays. Now we're gonna take on to their traditions. Because guess what? Even back in the time of Maccabees, matter of fact, go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6 right quick. 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Started verse 1 right quick, and then jump down.
The book of 2 Maccabees. Oh, let me hear everybody get there.
Go ahead,
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
Because guess what now? Even back then in the time of Maccabees, man, they were trying to tell them, they told them to depart from the laws of your fathers, man. Same thing they trying to tell us, man, you don't need to keep the laws. Same thing, man. There's nothing new up under the sun. They keep telling us over and over again to get away from our laws. Guess what? We even got Israelites that know they Israel, and they still telling us not to keep these laws. You can't keep the law. You can't nobody keep all the laws. Now can't nobody keep all the laws, because some laws for women and some laws for men.
And then it's also Israelites that, guess what, make provisions for the flesh. They try to trim their ways and have it both ways. You see them posting little stuff, doing this, doing that. They ain't talk to their family all week, but then you're going to try to call them Wednesday so they can get you to secretly try to come over. And you make an excuse to go over there too. You know, we got to watch out for that.
I didn't even eat.
Yeah. So we finna touch that too. We finna touch that. Read that up. We done show finna touch that too. Read.
To compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
So they tell us not to live out the law of our God. According to Deuteronomy chapter 4, you start at verse 4 and read down. It explains to you this is our wisdom in sight of all the nations. So if this is our wisdom, why we can't keep our wisdom? They want to take our wisdom away and get their wisdom instead of God's wisdom. They know we come back to God's wisdom, we'll make us above all nations. But if we go to their wisdom, we'll be below all nations. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath.
It said it wasn't lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath day, because guess what, man? Now they saying the same thing, man. Oh, man. People take Sabbath as not. That's one of God's high holy days, man. We supposed to keep the Sabbath, man. That's one of the big 10, man. Even if you don't know the 613, that's one of the big 10. Read up.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Because guess what? Even right now in this latter days, a lot of people still not even know that they Jews, man. I'm an African American, I'm black. Then we say, hey, brother, you God chosen people, man. You're a Jew that the Bible speaks of. They go, That's what they tell us, man. Because they don't want to be no Jews. They don't want to be God's chosen people. Read up.
Verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought by bitter constraints to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, let me get a little tidbit on the feast of Bacchus. The feast of Bacchus is what they doing in the Mardi Gras. That's part of the Mardi Gras. So that's just, they even got the Bacchus in the Mardi Gras. Bacchus has his own day. So it's go all the way back to the Greeks is what they doing in New Orleans right now. All right. And it said, brought by bitter constraints to eat of the sacrifice. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying idols. And they still doing that today.
Still doing it, man.
But we was in bitter constraints doing it then. Now we do it willfully.
That's right.
And see, it's funny because a lot of people want to celebrate their birthdays. Back in the day, they had to force us to go to a birthday party. And now we just volunteering. It's my birthday. I'm gonna celebrate all month.
That's the same thing that king did. That's the same thing that king did. He celebrated all month. But they made us by bitter.
Make us. You know, we don't miss parties. You know, they had to force us to go to that party. So you can tell that we wasn't celebrating no birthday, man.
That's right. Read that out.
Verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews.
See, now here it come. Read.
That they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Read verse 9. Man.
Verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death.
See, but guess what? They had to literally kill us for us to do those things, man. For us to follow their traditions and their custom, they had to literally kill us. But now, that's part of the curse. Deuteronomy 28:68. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The last part is 68. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. 48. Shalaki. Verse 48. The last part of 48.
And even like I went to it in verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. And we always want to bring it up to today's term. When you don't say happy Thanksgiving back, boy, they shun you like a mug up at that job, boy. Boy, you get the wickedest looks up in that thing, man. That's how they killing us today, verbally, with your looks and stuff. If you ain't saying miracles or none of these things, boy, say, you might get something on your car when you leave work, man. You know, but guess what, brothers and sisters? We got to stay strong in the spirit and move forward, man. Go ahead, Al.
Come on it. Finish that out.
Verse 10. Then might a man have seen the present misery.
See, but the thing is, it goes back into, man, look, we weren't doing, they couldn't make us do their customs. But now it's all to the good, man. Christmas come up, man, let's get it. 4th of July come up, man, let's get it. Thanksgiving come up, man, guess what? Who gonna stack them styrofoam plates up, man?
But then when it come to Passover, I don't think I'll make that, man.
Yeah.
Man, I think Esau gonna make me work, man.
Say, I suggest.
Esau gonna make me work, man. Go ahead. But the thing is, guess what? The same way that you put that energy in to celebrate, man, look here. If you went all out when you was celebrating Thanksgiving, you wear the best clothes and the best shoes, get your hair done up the best way. Guess what? Got the freshest line and you just ready to go out. But when the most high holy days come, guess what, man? You walk up in there, man, how long is gonna be? Come on, man. You supposed to go 10 times harder for your God, man. That's how we supposed to be, man. You supposed to go extra hard for your God. If you gonna go hard, if I go hard like that, no, man, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody was in the world. Let me know. No, I'm just pretty sure with everybody was in the world. Y'all know how y'all get down. Come on, man. Everybody know that. You get down. Got a bottle, got a blunt, got everything else.
New outfit.
Mad, hey, they be mad when they say last call. Like, God, they gonna get 3 more drinks for it.
Like this.
And then they're playing Keith Sweat, make it last forever. And they finna end about 15 minutes.
I don't want to leave that.
Hey, I want to suggest, if you haven't read this whole chapter and chapter 7, people watching on Facebook, YouTube, if you want to understand how serious this thing is, like I was bringing out a majority of it, why we got to stand firm on what we doing for the Lord, because if you see what our people, how bad they was trying to force us to eat pork and celebrate they wicked holidays, the stuff they put us through, you would stand firmer in the Lord today, because you see how they did us. This should be an inspiration to stand strong in the Lord, because thankfully, they ain't doing us like they was doing us back then, right now. Now, you can probably get back to that, but they're able to serve the Lord right now.
Let me get to Romans chapter 13, verse 14 real quick. You get back to the captain real quick, man.
They hated our Sabbath, though, didn't they?
Real quick, man, because like we said, we got to stop making excuses, because you never know who's watching you on what type of platform. Like we say, social media. You giving them a leeway to do those things, because what they gonna say? Well, I seen you do it. I seen you post it. You know, so guess what, man? When we come to the Spirit of the Most High God, man, we got to go wholeheartedly into this truth, putting out the old man, putting out the old woman. The things that we did in the Word, guess what? We don't do those things in the truth. Read that out.
Romans chapter 13, verse 14. but put ye on the Lord Yahushua.
Because guess what? Yahushua, then you won't read about him celebrating Thanksgiving or Christmas. Read on up.
And make no provision for the flesh.
Read that again up.
And make no provision for the flesh.
And make not provisions for the flesh. Don't make excuses for the flesh. Read on up.
For the flesh, to fulfill the lust thereof.
To fulfill that lust. Because guess what? Some people, you'll be surprised. Some people struggle with keeping those type of holidays. Some people struggle with keeping their birthdays. Everybody got their own little lust that they struggle with. Lust ain't always just talking about sexually. Guess what? It could be talking about some spiritual fornication. You know, this is some of the things, man, because they see it as family times together. Like we say, man, you can visit your family every day of the week. Why just do it on that day?
You can make a turkey any day of the week.
You can, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
But it's so serious though that they make them. Hey, this is what all turkeys go on sale, man. They like 10 cents a pound. You get
turkeys in there, GMOs or something.
GMOs. Give me Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
They pass them out now. You ain't got a bomb no more. That's how bad they want you to celebrate their wicked holidays. They gonna give it to you to celebrate. Here you go, free. Here's a meal.
You
All
know
the time they feed the homeless, a good meal is on Thanksgiving. Boy. They get the whole fishing, boy. They gonna make sure we get you eating that. What is that? The turkey, which is the Chiefs,
some ham,
the stuffing, or you going through that anyway? I'm sure.
No, you can touch.
But the stuff, y'all know that's what those things mean. That turkey that you eat, they gobbling up is what that is. When they the slaughter of the kings and the chiefs, and the stuffing was the children and the women, and that dressing that they put on is the blood of the natives.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that's what it is. That stuff.
Go ahead,
Let me get Amos 5 and 21 right quick. This was how the Most High feels about these days, man. Read it out.
Look at Amos. Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I hate.
What the Lord say?
I hate.
The Lord said, I hate, read.
I despise your feast
He
days.
said, I despise your feast days, man.
And I will not smell of your solemn assembly.
Because the Lord ain't smelling them solemn assemblies, man. The only thing I can think about when they give away food, I can think about Pookie coming up that big for a whole turkey, man.
That's all I think
They go up there big. That's all I can think of, man. Read up.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts.
Because now we ain't gonna sacrifice, but the Lord ain't accepted nothing in this day, man, of Thanksgiving, man. He ain't accepted none of that stuff, man. Ain't nothing that you can do. And you sitting up there trying to pray to the Lord and bless this meal, Lord, and the Lord looking at you, man. I don't hear none of it. Is this person mouth muted up here? Or what is they saying? He ain't trying to hear none of that mess, man.
They'd be like, Happy Thanksgiving, God bless you. Wow, you don't know no better. Because he ain't dealing with that.
He blessing me because I ain't celebrating. I don't know what he doing with you though.
Matter of fact, I'll go to Sirach right quick and touch something right quick. Sirach chapter 27, verse 12 right quick. And we're going to kind of go back over here to Galatians, touch a few scriptures. I know we're getting close. Sirach chapter 27, verse 12.
Book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 12.
Because we know sometimes our people reach, man. Sometimes our people reach. They be like, Mama call you over here, baby, could you go to the store for me? Like, Mama, I ain't trying to come over there. Oh, baby, could you come over and help me? My drain stopped up. They got to try to do anything to get you over there because it's the Thanksgiving. But guess what? The Most High got verses for everything. Read it out.
Sirach 27, verse 12. If thou may be among the indiscreet.
Because if you be among the people that guess what? I'm pretty sure you done told them about this truth. They ain't trying to be acceptable to this truth. If you be among the indiscreet, read it up.
Observe the time.
Hey, Mama, see, I done fixed the drain. I'm finna get ready to roll out. You gotta observe them times, man. Don't sit over here, because guess what? The longer you stay over there, the more you're gonna be wanting to indulge in that thing, man. Because guess what, man? Say, mother, not father. Okay, I came over to help you out, Mama. I done did it, now I got to roll, man.
Bye.
Later. Well, wait a minute. They finna bless the food. Boop, you the door slam. Read up.
but be continually among men of
Because
understanding.
guess what? Be upon the people that's just walking in these truth, man. That's the people that you should be around. You don't need to watch your clock when you're around them. But sometimes you do too, because brothers be well, let it go, boy. They all night, man. But that's
Now go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And brothers and sisters struggling with that thing, man. What you think brothers and sisters is for, man? Call brothers up, man. We can just go through the scriptures. Guess what? You can come over to the house, man. We can just go through the scriptures, man, with brothers and sisters, man. We gotta shake that thing, especially before Christ comes. For real,
Yeah,
man.
Hey, man, I spent that green bean casserole, man. I just had to call you, man. It's on. Get out of there. I don't know if I can get out of there tomorrow.
It's still weak, ain't it?
Give me a scripture.
That's not to even go around.
Yeah,
That's not easy to go around. Go to Galatians chapter 4 and verse 8 right quick.
And I'm glad I said it. That's what Christ was saying. If thy right arm offend thee, guess what? Cut it off, man. You have to cut that thing off totally, man. Go cold turkey, man. Literally.
Literally.
Don't eat none of that hot turkey, go cold turkey.
Don't say literally. You know, a lot of people running in here with one arm.
I'm talking about the cold turkey. I'm talking about the chopping the oil. Hey, if that's what it takes, man. You rather go to the kingdom with water with a nub than go up in there and you're gonna get your whole body cut off.
You come up in here with just the torso.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, before he get there, Galatians, man, I want to touch something right quick too that add on to that Sirach 12. Go to Sirach 4, chapter 4, verse 20. I think 20. Before you go to Galatians, Sirach chapter 4 and verse 20. When your mama playing these games, you know when y'all people playing these games on this wicked holiday. We know when people playing these games, man. And come on, we can't be oblivious to this, man. If it's gonna happen and you see that what they trying to do, guess what? No, I ain't getting into that, man. Read up.
And be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul.
Don't be ashamed to tell them, no, I'm not doing this because this concerns my soul. No, I ain't playing with you like this.
Oh, no, that's right.
You can't be ashamed to tell somebody, look, no, I'm not doing it, man. Well, just stay over here until we get finished. Because you know everybody want to see you. Okay, they tell them come on to the house.
Tell them come to class when.
Yeah, tell them come to the Sabbath class.
That's it.
Tell them keep these commandments. They'll see me a whole lot more. Because they'll be right here amongst the people that's keeping the commandment.
Yeah.
Read up.
For there is a shame that bringeth sin.
Because guess what? When you're ashamed, sometimes when you're ashamed to tell these people that, hey man, well, shoot, man, they guess what? Don't be ashamed of your God. Your God said when it concerning your soul, you better stand up and tell them. Don't be ashamed, man. You can't be ashamed. Because guess what? That shame will bring sin to you. Because you need to be trying to get up out of that thing. Read up.
And there is a shame which is glory and grace.
Now, guess what? Now you need to have that same shame to give it your humbleness. Guess what? Man, I got to look here, I can't do this, man. I'm in the wrong element. You gotta tell your family, look, I done did what you gotta do. Man, look here. My humbleness and my glory, my humbleness and my shame to go towards my God. And he told me I can't be over that long, not to celebrate this thing. I got to go, man. That's what you should be shamefaced to your God, not to your mother or father. Concerning, guess what? You can't go above the scriptures, man. You got to observe that thing, man.
Like we say, the devil don't always come ugly. Guess what? The devil can come as your mama, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet as pie, but boy, inside wicked, then boy, wicked, man.
And the thing is, we deal with spirit. When you deal with people and you deal it, because guess what? That person you see all day long. Man, I love this brother, man. Good brother. Guess what, brother? Look at me. Oh man, you're a good brother. But sometimes people have spirits on them, man. You got to rebuke that person, man. Because guess what? You think we don't rebuke each other? Man, y'all got another thing coming. When iron sharpens iron, sometimes it don't make no soft noise. It make a loud noise. And that's sometimes how that thing rolls. Because we got to make sure we get this thing right to give it to somebody else. And that's how we should do it amongst each other. We got to make sure that, guess what? Everybody's getting fed, man. Because iron got to sharpen iron, man. And it just might not sound the best way. It might, dang, man, it's a big loud noise. Yeah, it is. But guess what? You sharp now, ain't you? Okay, we good. The job is completed. That's how I got to roll sometime.
most of our people make a lot of excuses. I was on paying some bills. Lady said, well, I know you're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I said, I'm not. So you don't celebrate? I said, no, man. She said, well, I don't either. I just go eat. I said, man, that sounds like celebrating to me.
No doubt.
You going to eat. You eat the food for Thanksgiving, right? She said, yeah, but you celebrate. People don't understand. Some of our people understand and some of our people really don't, though. They think, well, like you said with Christmas, well, you know, I never had a good Christmas. I'm just going to do it for the church. You celebrate, man, no matter how you say it, no matter how you try to put it. You know what I'm saying? Don't make your children pass through the fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the law we're going to pull.
I'm in the next verse.
Verse 22, Sirach, chapter 4, verse 22. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reference of any man cause thee to fall.
Of any man, I don't care your wife, your child, because you know them children to do. You ain't getting them no gifts for Christmas. They'll get that bottom lip and put it. It'll be all the way up under their chin, and give you that look. Then he look at me. He ride his tricycle. He look back at you like you done something wrong. No, you teaching them the right thing. Or they I'm hungry though. Well, shoot, hold on. We're gonna make some cereal or something, but we ain't gonna eat no turkey. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta tell them, no, we ain't doing that.
Just ain't doing it. Matter of fact, man, we're gonna drop the Galatians. Let's go to Leviticus 20 right quick, 25. Get a couple of precepts out, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man.
That's
Hey,
one.
man.
Get some history on that also.
We ain't got no time for this. Go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 25.
Oh, man. Not no end, man.
Deep, boy.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 25. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean.
See, because guess what now? Guess what? They can't fill themselves up with any and every different type of every wind of doctrine. They fill themselves up with every different kinds of meats, man. Read
And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl,
and you shouldn't make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl. Read.
or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean.
Because the Lord has separated that from us as unclean. He gave us the difference between the clean and the unclean. See, the thing is, we got to know the difference in between. Go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 5 right quick. Just the last few precepts, and we'll get up out of here.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 5. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
Read that over again.
For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person.
No unclean person, man. Guess what? Unclean spirit, unclean flesh, none of that, man. Read up.
Nor covetous man,
Uh-huh.
who is an idolater,
Uh-huh.
had any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
You got no inheritance in the King of Christ or in the Most High God, man. Revelation 21:27. You got no rights to the tree of life, man. You just won't make it there, man.
Revelations 21 and 27. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Because guess what we gonna do? We gonna be written in the Lamb's. We gonna be written in the Lamb's book of life, man. We gonna keep God's law, statutes, and commandments in His high holy days, man.
And guess exactly that's the key right there. What's written in the book of the holy lambs in the word, man. Do the things that's in the Bible. Keep the high holy days that's in the book, man. That's a good precept too.
And brothers and sisters, man, I know time be kind of rolling, man, on the Wednesday, but thank you for tuning in. Hope you was edified. Those that's on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube page. Those on Facebook, thanks for watching. And y'all subscribe to the YouTube page also. Those that's been given to the GoFundMe, that money will be used for a good cause, and we thank you, brothers and sisters, for that too. We say keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The law we're gonna pull It's Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 21. Because a lot of times people are like, we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving for our kids. We're going to do it for the children. Most I got a law for that too. Read it out.
Leviticus 18 and 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech.
It said, don't let your seed pass through the fire. So when you celebrating these high holy days, these holidays, you making your children pass through the fire. You giving your children up to these pagan gods. You giving your children up to these pagan traditions, man. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.